the things that Twisted Mike's was really known for was its French fries. Everyone knew about Twisted Mike's double fried fries. So today we're going to show you how to make them. One of the things that we used that made them special was that we used peanut oil. We're going to bring that peanut oil up to 300 degrees, and we're actually putting it in a saucepan on the stove. If you have a little deep fryer, that's great too, but we want to start out at 300 degrees. We're also going to use russet potatoes and some water to get the starch out. I'm going to start off by, here at home, slicing our potatoes and make them into little French fries, sticks. If you have a fry cutter, like we did on the truck, it makes things a little bit easier. But we're going to go ahead and cut these into French fry, little strips of fries. And then we're going to take them and we're going to place them in a bowl of cold water. And we're going to let them sit in that cold water for 30 minutes to remove the starch. We're going to go ahead and finish cutting up all these fries. Alright, we've got our potato in the water, getting the starch out. And like I said, that'll take at least 30 minutes. And you can tell it's beginning to get a little cloudy. And we have our oil heating up to 300 degrees. You want to make sure that you wash your potatoes so that you don't get any dirt or bacteria stuff in them. You also want to use, the reason we use peanut oil is because peanut oil will actually last longer and it has a higher smoke point. Also, it doesn't change the flavor of the food. So if you put a potato in there, it's going to taste like a potato. If you put an egg roll in, it's going to taste like an egg roll. It doesn't leave that greasy residue. And that's one of the main reasons that we use peanut oil. I know that there are some people that are allergic to it. If you are allergic to peanut oil, go ahead and use a canola oil or a vegetable oil blend. But this really is the best option. Potatoes, make sure that you use your russet potatoes. Yellow potatoes have a higher water content on the inside, which will make them actually not cook as well as for French fries. Fascinating note, McDonald's French fries uses russet potatoes, but they only accept russet potatoes from a certain point going north, and that's it, because of the water content that goes into them. So your potato is pretty important, so make sure that you keep a nice russet potato and make sure they're fresh and not all dried out. We're going to go ahead and let our oil heat up to 300 degrees. Then we're going to drop our, dry off our fries, and then we're going to drop them in the oil. Our temperature has just reached 300 degrees. You want to make sure that the bottom of the thermometer doesn't reach the bottom of the pan, otherwise it will give you a false reading. We're now going to take our fries, we're going to gently put them in the oil. Grab our other ones, and we're going to let this cook for roughly 3 to 4 minutes. And then we're going to pull them out. Alright, it's been about 3-4 minutes. We're now going to take our fries out of our oil. You want to make sure that you get all the water off the fries before you put them in. Otherwise, it's going to, the little water droplets are going to explode. You're going to have some real issues. The reason that we're cooking these twice is because we want to soften up the inside of the fry. We want kind of that consistency of a mashed potato, or really light on the inside and crispy on the outside. And by frying it in 2 different stages, it gives it that texture. We're now going to increase the heat to our oil to 350 degrees. Alright, our heat is now up to 350 degrees. We're going to place our fries back into the hot oil. Now, if you don't want to cook your fries immediately, you can cool them down to room temperature for about 4 hours and then stick them in the refrigerator for up to 24. After 24 hours, your fries are going to begin to sour, so you don't want to use them after 24 hours. But you can pre-cook them in advance. We're going to put these in the oil for approximately another 4 to 5 minutes, just to make sure they get nice and crispy. Alright, our fries are now golden brown. We're going to set them over here on a wrap. On top of the fries, we're going to put a coarse sea salt. And the reason we want to put a coarse sea salt is that we want that salty flavor, but we don't want a lot of salt granules. And so whenever you get your tongue taste that large grain of salt, we can use less salt and it's going to taste better. This is how you make Twisted Mike's double fried fries. It wasn't an easy process, especially when serving 600, 700, 800 people at a time. But the flavor was well worth it. If you like these recipes, please like and subscribe to our YouTube page.